Hello, class. This is Marcos, and I'm here to share our weekly recap for week 6 as we go into week 7 and begin to complete our rebranding project as well as our cross topics lecture series. So lots going on, and I want to make sure everyone's clear about what you have to do and be able to prepare you best for our finals review on Thursday for our rebranding project. So let's go through this, and I'm going to share with you a couple of examples of final presentations as well here at the end, so that you get a good idea of the kind of setup you need to have ready to go. So just to go through our workflow from week 6 to 7, we're completing our lecture series by doing the 7th one, brand and identity. And there's a video of mine on this one, so make sure you watch that for sure, as well as the other two. And also, I've noticed that the digital design systems from last week wasn't really completed by very many people. And I know we're all busy with our rebrand project, but make sure you do that. And if you need more time, just let me know. Send me an email or let me know in class so that we stay on top of that. So what we're doing now is that we're kind of going from our logo options being completed. Some of you are still developing that. So if that's the case, then of course, keep working on that. You should also have your first set of touch points for each concept developed. And the next step is going to be for this week is to finalize our touch points and mock-ups and make even further visuals of what your brand looks like. And the way we're going to do that is you're going to develop those further touch points based on a decision you need to make, which is, do I pick a favorite logo and to kind of declare it the winner and create mock-ups of just one option? Or do I decide to treat them all equally and not decide on one and further develop more touch points for that for each of your logo concepts and kind of broaden the world of what that looks like? Not doing as many mock-ups as if you picked a winner, but doing as many as you can to further that story. And then once you do that, we're going to, I don't know if it's create your final presentation more than it is assemble your final presentation, because each week we've been creating the steps and the assets for your final presentation. And now it's just a matter of bringing those together, organizing them, editing and revising where needed, so that you have a full story from the beginning of the brand as it stands today to the past and the strategies, the audiences, and then the personality, and then your new vision for it, your concepts, your logos, and then showcasing it as touch points. So let's go through that here. So for weeks, just to give you a sense here, we're creating additional touch points this week, and we're getting ready for our final presentations, and we're having our final reviews on Thursday. Just a little bit of help of where to find things on Canvas. We have a new workshop 7 posting. I haven't posted it yet. I'm going to get the mural link ready, but I'll post it soon, and you can start watching the videos, as well as a posting for Project 5, which is actually Project 6 final presentation. I'll fix that as well. And then what I want you to be focusing now on is your project rebrand. And I'm showing here what we've been working on for a couple of weeks now, which is this idea of creating various concepts, 2 to 3 concepts, having a concept statement and a theme, as we say on the left column, having visual mood boards that give the look and feel, the vibe of what your concept is about, and then creating design inspiration that shows visual techniques and tactics of how design can bring to life the ideas you have. And then from there, showing your new design concept, followed by a touch point page or pages that put your logo concept, your logo design into the context of the world of your brand. And to do that in a simple way that helps show that without getting too extensive into it until we get to this next step. So here it is with 3 different concepts. And of course, you might have 2, which is fine as well. And our next step then is to make a decision. Like, do I want to pick one of these and declare it like the best one and further develop it? And in this case, the student did choose to do that. And what they did was to create further touch points. So here's the next step you'll do this week. You'll show the new logo that you've developed, and maybe there are some revisions you need to do to it this week. And if so, put those revisions onto this like sort of new final design idea. And then from there, build out more touch points, like create a world using mock-ups, using images from Photoshop, using the idea of how can I develop and show and present my logo in the context of where you come across it as a touch point. So it could be packaging, it could be advertising, it could be digital, it could be things like events, it could be merchandise, all the things that are applicable, and you can be aspirational and put it on things that are not typical for what your brand does, but where it can now go with your new idea. And you can see here there are things like mock-ups. It's appropriate to use a mock-up that is sort of like a nice image of a phone or a piece of paper. That's good to use and do that. But I also want you to use Google to find images that you can take and customize it. You can take out the logo or the parts of it that you don't want, and then put in logos and elements that you do want to showcase. So for example, here, I know these images are little, but you can see here there's some events that Mac is having. There's educator talking with the logo in the background. And there's a sleeve here with the logo on his arm. Down here in the corner, there's a space, retail space, where they put the new logo. So these things you're not going to find on mock-up pages. You need to go through the internet and look for your brand and look for images of your brand. Find good ones and utilize your Photoshop skills to place your logo and to create the best possible story of this new logo and how it lives in the world. All right, so let's, and then in terms of the final presentation, what I want you to do is to develop your final presentation based on all the work we've been doing. Start with the early pages you develop that show your brand history, your current brand strategy, your target audience, the competitors, and then showcase your current brand personality and compare that to your new brand strategy and the visuals you set up to show that new personality. From there, you will then go to what we were just looking at, which is the 3 concepts, and then, or 2 concepts. And then from there, you're going to expand your concepts into further touch points. Now, if you don't want to pick just one logo, then what you would do is basically you would expand your touch points for each logo concept further as much as you can this week. Obviously not as much as you would if you picked one, but a third, one or half, so that you have more touch points for each concept, and you broaden the story of that. And I'll show you that example coming up right now. So let's look at an example of if you didn't pick one and you decided to stick to simply developing each of your ideas or logo concepts into equal amounts of touch points. So basically, here's the final presentation for this student who did Canon. And here's the history and the logo history and their current strategy and their audience, their competitors, their current personality, and then their new brand strategy. And then their new personality as a vibe mood board. And then we go into the concepts. So here's the first concept. There's a theme. There's text that explains that. There's a vibe mood board that shows the look and feel of what this world will look like. And then there's design inspiration that will influence how the design was developed. And if you need to go back and adjust this to match better what your result was, then please do that. So here's their first logo. And since this student decided not to pick one, we're going to see not just one page of touch points or a few pages, we're going to see several pages, because each of their options are going to be expanded further for this final presentation to show as deep as possible of a world using Photoshop images, and I'm using photography from Google and using mockups. So there's a good mix here. You can see finding an image, a real image, and then changing the logo on the camera. A real image of a of an ad and making an ad, a quick version of an ad and putting the logo in. Here's an actual mock-up that you can do and creating not just the logo. You can put just the logo on the screen if you want, but then try to bring in photography or illustration as much as you can to develop it further. And then nice kind of grids like this also work well in terms of being able to showcase different applications of the logo. Here's retail, packaging, visual, or merchandise, and some swag. And then, so that, as you can see, is a further expansion of creating mock-ups and touch points within one concept. And so she does the same with her second concept, repeats the same idea in terms of showing the concept in writing, showing the mood boards and visual inspiration, showcasing the new logo, and then repeating the same level of mock-ups in the same kind of categories, although they're different in little ways. But we see here that it kind of goes through the same story, but showing it with this different logo option. And then the third concept does the exact same thing. And again, choosing good photography, choosing photography that really is friendly to making a mock-up, but also that has the right visual feel. That takes time, and I want you to take that time to do that so that you end up with a result that's as strong as this. And then at the end, I'd like you to, if you have three options, then I want you to present all three of them kind of equally like this. In this case, she also did it on a mock-up, showing the three logo options on a camera. Okay, so that's, oh my goodness, she doesn't have a thank you page. This is a sin, so make sure you have a thank you page at the end of this. And then we go to another example, which is an example of doing three options, or doing three options and then picking a winner and then extending just one option into a broader world of touch points. So quickly, I'll go through this. We have the history, logo evolution, competitors, the audience, their current strategy, and then we turned it into the rebrand effort with the new strategy. And then we present first concept in a statement with the visual mood boards and the design inspiration, and then we show the logo. And from here, we show just one page because we're going to choose a winner. We choose one page like you've been doing, and we show it nice and simple. The logo applied to some just key elements, the tape, a box, and a phone. And this is a smart way to do this because we're going to repeat this with the other two options, and that'll allow us to just kind of get a sense of what this is like without getting too deep into a variety of visuals. So we end that section now, and we come to concept 2, same thing, a statement, visual inspiration, or visual mood board, and then design inspiration, and then the logo option 2. And in this case, this student has two concepts, but there's two logo options in the second concept. So we're going to first see her same exact images for the touch points, just reapplying the different logo concept. And this way, you're able to kind of compare like which logo you're liking better without it turning into like which mock-up you like better or which image you like better. And then she takes the same concept and develops a second logo within that concept as a third design, and does the same thing with the mock-ups. Okay, from here, the decision was made to show these, and this is what you guys should do. You should show your original and then show the logo options you developed, and then she decided to choose one of them, which she reveals here. This is the logo. That's the winning logo. And then from here, she creates a series of further touch points with packaging, to advertising, to merchandise, and even expanding it further into apparel, becoming a duct tape brand of clothing, doing this clothing within collaborations with cool current brands. This actually played, that's why it's blank, but this had a little screen story here. And then the website, and then thank you. Okay, so that is, those are two examples of how you should be thinking about doing this. And so this week, I need you guys to really continue the hard work you've been doing, stay focused, stay inspired. Each of you has great design concepts. Each of you have done a lot of good work, but this week it's key that you bring it all together into a story, into a final presentation, into mock-ups that are effective, that are well designed, that are well chosen, that are well laid out, and then that you're able to also prepare yourself to be able to speak about this in a concise, confident way when you present it. And what we'll be doing is on Tuesday, we'll be meeting. I think we're going to probably meet as groups on Tuesday this time to prepare for the final. I'll send out an email for that. And then on Thursday, I'm working on getting a set of judges that we can have presentations to people, and we're going to do it as a Zoom meeting. I'll get more details on that, but start preparing for that, because this is a good experience for you to have a deadline with a meeting, with presenting your ideas to somebody who's unfamiliar with what you've been doing, and be able to share that in a way that you'll get some good professional feedback. And we'll all come out of it feeling really good about all the work we've done. All right, guys, so we're almost there. Let's not walk to the finish line. Let's run to the finish line and make sure this work is done in a great way. So I'm available as needed. So please email me if you have any questions. Please send me the work you're doing if you need feedback or help on anything, and I'm here to help. So I will see you guys soon, and thanks for everything.